Thank you for tuning into Beast Watch News News Brief at the most current and comprehensive Bible prophecy website on the internet, beastwatchnews.com. All Bible prophecy news, all the time. Stay tuned for news. Today's scripture reading is Psalms, that's Tehillim 37, verse 40. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust him. Starting in Israel, since all prophecy is Israel-centric, Kerry is returning to Israel to double down on his peace push. Sources familiar with the negotiations say the Secretary of State will request concrete signals from both the PA and Israel this week in the hope that his strategy of putting in personal FaceTime with leaders on both sides will finally produce results. Western officials are seeking Palestinian and Israeli concessions, and Netanyahu has said that he is willing to release prisoners jailed prior to the Oslo Accords and officially freeze settlement construction outside of the main blocs in order to help start the peace process. On the PA side, there has been a report that Abbas is interested in restarting limited peace talks, but the Palestinians played down that rumor, saying that Abbas will not resume negotiations until Israel accepts their terms. One report claims that Obama is trying to rein Kerry in over some pledges that he's made to the allies and to some rivals. Since becoming America's top diplomat, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has issued several as yet undelivered and perhaps undeliverable foreign policy promises, including a historic breakthrough in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Kerry insists his quiet diplomacy is making headway, a claim that only he, Netanyahu, and Abbas truly can substantiate because most of the discussions are one-on-one. Several senior Israeli and Palestinian officials have suggested otherwise in highly critical comments to local and international media, but it will only be a matter of days before we discover whether Kerry is truly the diplomat he claims to be. This report on Temple Mount. Israeli authorities on Monday began new excavation near the Al-Aqsa mosque complex in occupied Jerusalem, according to a Palestinian foundation. The Al-Aqsa Foundation for Endowment and Heritage said that the Israeli authorities began the excavations in the southern part of Al-Maghribah Gate, the eastern part of the Umayyad palaces, and at the entrance of the Wadi Hilway neighborhood. The three sites are located in Jerusalem's Old City. The foundation said that its inspection teams documented the new excavations in the three sites and added that these excavations take place at night and are covered with tents and plastic sheets. Deadly clashes raged in Lebanon yesterday in the southern city of Sidon as the army pressed an offensive there against gunmen loyal to a radical Sunni Muslim cleric in that city. The Lebanese government is trying on Tuesday to secure the country after the deadliest violence there since the start of a 2-year conflict in neighboring Syria. Iran is building a secret base in the Port of Sudan to supply Syria and Hizballah, a logistics base for handling tanks, missile systems, self-propelled artillery, which is bound for Syria and Hezbollah, is secretly under construction at Port Sudan, according to DIPLOMATS. Iranian Revolutionary Guard engineers in civilian dress are overseeing the hundreds of Sudanese workmen laboring to build Iran's second Red Sea base after Assir in South Eritrea. It is designed to handle Iran's largest warships and submarines with a large arms depot that will cut in half the sea route for Iranian heavy arms to reach Iran's Syrian and Hizballah allies. To give the military port a civilian aspect and suggest that Iranian warships no longer visit the port, Tehran has switched to commercial cargo vessels and oil tankers for delivering weapons for its Syrian and Hezbollah allies through Port Sudan. In Egypt, a missile fired from central Sinai exploded near the eastern bank of the Suez Canal on Tuesday. It was the first time the Al-Qaeda-linked armed Sinai extremists had attacked the canal with a rocket. Egyptian security sources said it had been fired to warn the Egyptian army not to intervene in the Tama Road, which is the uprising that the Egyptian opposition has scheduled for June 30th to oust the Muslim Brotherhood regime there. In response, the U.S. will close its Cairo embassy on June 30th in case those massive rallies turn violent. Taliban gunmen in Kabul, Afghanistan have attacked the presidential palace, and there's more violence appearing in Iraq, sparking fears that the whole region could turn into one huge civil war. I believe soon there will be one huge northern merged battlefield with Iran, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and possibly Turkey. This is the ancient Seleucid Empire and king of the north. The king of the south could well be Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and North Africa, which was the ancient Ptolemaic Empire. Eventually, we could see the Muslim sectarian line split along the north and south, with the Shiites mainly in the north and the Sunnis in the south. The global economy is just about to melt down. One of the top economists, Michael Pinto, told King World News that despite bounces, stocks will continue to crater, and he has positioned his clients short for a collapse in global markets. He is the founder of Pinto Portfolio Strategies and is warning that central planners now have the world headed into a depression. This comes as the news is saying Italy is heading for an EU rescue within 6 months. The crisis there in the EU and in Italy continues to deepen, and stocks have fallen another 1%. But the news is saying that it could have been worse. Dr. Doom has announced that there are a lot of problems coming: revolution, social strife, and so forth. Over 100,000 signatures on a petition is passed to the White House calling for the former National Security Agency contractor to be called a national hero, and it says that he should be immediately pardoned for any crimes in blowing the whistle on classified government programs to collect phone records and online data. Putin is now saying that Snowden is at a Russian airport, but he signals that there will be no extradition. And China is slamming the U.S. after Snowden's accusations, calling us mad invaders and eavesdroppers. Full amnesty immigration is moving forward. On Monday, the Senate voted to cut off the debate on the Schumer-Corker-Haven substitute amendment to the Gang of Eight amnesty bill. The full chamber will now vote on the amendment, which will replace the original Gang of Eight bill as the final Senate immigration legislation. Majority Leader Reid will soon seek to cut off debate on the main bill, too, with final votes on the legislation likely scheduled for Thursday or Friday of this week. This bill allows illegal immigrants who commit crimes to face lesser punishments than U.S. citizens. The Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that states can no longer be judged by voting discrimination that went on decades ago, in a decision that marks the end of a major civil rights era reform. The 5-4 ruling rewrites a key tool of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which for 5 decades has given the federal government unprecedented say in everything from how some states draw their congressional maps to where they place polling locations. The justices said after 5 decades the law has had a dramatic effect in ending discrimination in voting, and said Congress must now come up with new ways of deciding who still needs federal oversight, like rolling heavy armaments into the state capitals and threatening federal takeover if the states don't comply, for example. You see, the New World Order is really adept at making it seem like there is someone on your side, when really it's a setup for more global government invasion to come. Obama is unveiling a fresh battle over climate change, with plans to curb emissions using executive powers that sidestep Congress, including controversial rules to cut carbon pollution from existing power plants. The wide-ranging plan, which Obama is going to do a speech on later today, also beefs up federal efforts to help deploy low-carbon and renewable energy and has programs to help harden communities against climate-fueled extreme weather. A White House climate advisor has said that there is indeed a need for a war on coal. Under the gun control scam, according to UPI, the St. Charles Police Department, located in the suburbs of Chicago, has sold some of the guns it obtained in a buyback program to 2 licensed gun dealers in the area. The department's chief of police, James Lampkin, justified the sales as a budget-friendly move. Police in New York City are seen wearing t-shirts called the Hunting of Man t-shirts as seen on duty police officers in Queens. The Queens Warrant Squad was described by an ABC News team as an elite team of parole officers whose job every day is to track down fugitive felons on the run. The cops wearing the t-shirts were seen escorting a woman into the Queens courthouse at 12501 Queens Boulevard on a misdemeanor charge. As Thomas notes, the t-shirts likely violate NPD code, which prohibits any item of apparel which contains a department logo or shield or in any way identifies its wearer with the New York City Police Department. Here is what it says. There is no hunting like the hunting of man, and those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it, never cared for anything else thereafter. Quote from Ernest Hemingway. The period of time called the Great Tribulation will see two governments butting heads, the government of the beast, which is now rising, and the government of Jehovah, which is rising as well. These will be on earth simultaneously, just like they were in the beginning when both Melchizedek and Nimrod reigned. Nimrod is known to be a terrorist whose most enjoyable sport was hunting people. Thus, we will see this again. This situation with the New York Police Department just lets us know that they are no longer there to protect and defend, but to hunt, like Nimrod. As same-sex couples are waiting and hoping for a U.S. High Court marriage ruling in their favor, a transgender girl, boy, will be able to return to school this year after winning the right to use the female bathroom. He is a transgender girl who has male gender parts. This is Beastwatch News Daily Update. See these and other stories at beastwatchnews.com. Bible prophecy news every day except Shabbat.